Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast, your shortcut to various opinions on all things pop culture. I'm your host for this week, David Parker. Joining me today is Landon Browning, Mick Parker,
Heyo!
and WIl Dobratz.
Hello.
This is the episode for the week of April the 20th, 2020. 420 blaze it. We're all as high
Blaze
as
up,
kites.
brothers. Dude, I'm flying, man. I've been flying for
What
hours.
do you guys want to talk about tonight?
I'm just high on life, man.
We got that quarantine high.
Oh,
Will,
yeah.
Crap, I brought it up already. So Dune.
Dude.
So Will wanted to talk about new screenshots from the Dune film because Will loves the Dune franchise. It's a franchise, right? There's like multiple
Yes.
books.
Although I will admit that I've only read the first two so far. I've only read Dune and
Not a
Dune
real
Messiah.
fan.
I
Poser.
know. I'm part fake fan, but I still love the first two books. And oh my gosh, those screenshots look like a science fiction dream. Like they look knowing what goes on in the book and how it's described in the book is awesome. I love it.
Is the movie just the first book, or is it like doing beyond that?
So this coming movie is going to be the first half of the first book.
Is there going to be 6 books or 6 movies?
No. So what I'm hoping they do is that there's 3 movies. There's 2 for Dune, and then another for Dune Messiah. And then they
Are those
stop
like,
there.
is that like a complete story, or do like the continuing books kind of like continue off those same characters?
So without spoiling too much, there is like characters throughout all the books, but not all of them are the same. There's some that show up here and there, but it's a kind of a continuing story. But it ends really well at the end of Dune, and it ends really well at the end of Dune Messiah. And like,
Okay,
they
so you could
cut
read
it
just
off
those
either
couple
Dune.
books and be.
Oh
be in a
yeah,
good
you'd
spot.
be perfectly fine if you just read the first 2 books, which is what I did.
You read them multiple
want-
times, or was it one that you like read once and you just really liked it?
No, I just read them both once. I've read them rather recent, actually, like within the past year. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so but I have still yet to go back to because I started Children of Dune, which is the 3rd one, but I haven't.
What are they
Ever
about?
finished it.
Because I mean, I kind of know it's like some crazy spice epic sci-fi movie, or sci-fi book. But if you were to like describe it to someone without like completely giving away the entire plot, how would you describe the movie?
It's about. I would best say that it's about a family and a family or a house, as they call it in the book, being uprooted from one planet and being forced to move to the other, and dealing with the political implications of that. And that's the best thing I can give without spoiling anything.
Are they like a powerful family or something, or are they just like just a family?
They're a political house, so they are they're
They got some
a
influence.
faction. But I would say that they're a powerful, but I wouldn't say that they're the most powerful.
Well, I want to read the book. I got it for Christmas, and actually just before this, we were talking. Mick said that he got the audiobook, and normally he listens to stuff when he works, but since he's not working right now, due to stay at home.
You don't
stuff.
shame him. Don't
Hey,
shame
no,
him.
I'm
for
not
being
shaming him.
non-essential.
No,
You
People
freaking
didn't
dirt
know I'm
bag.
not working right now.
Yeah, you freaking. Dude,
It's
let's
essential
cut that out. Hey, Mick,
for
Mick,
now
Now
how's work
people are
been
going
going?
to call me non-essential.
no, it's essential for him to be home to keep the lives of everyone safe.
We're all essential,
him.
just in different ways. Exactly.
Okay, I didn't want to talk about COVID, but like, are you?
Oh, you didn't want to talk about it, and then you throw your brother under the bus?
didn't
Like
wanna
that? You
talk
just
about
chuck
it,
him under the
but I'm
bus?
gonna
Like,
talk about it
Well,
anyway.
no, but okay. So now, are you guys, you three that like, are you like against the stay-at-home orders? Or are you like anti-stay-at-home orders?
dude, since the whole thing's just a hoax, I mean, we could probably. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not stupid.
I just want an answer. That's all.
I don't know. I don't really want to get political at all.
That's not a political
really.
question.
It's not a political question.
I think it is.
I'll
It
make
has
it
to do
political. I'll
it
make
has
it
to
political
do
in
with,
just a minute, but I want answers first.
The question has to do with a government order to stay home. How is that not political?
Well, do you think that it's good to keep us away from other people, or do you think that it's too much and that we should just be like living normally? I
I
want
would
an
say
answer from each of you.
I would say it's good. I'll say it's good.
Good.
It's kind of a necessary evil, I think.
Okay. Landon.
It sucks. but-
I think they're doing the right thing for the most part. I think the execution of it has been like kind of hit or, you know what I mean? Like it seems like they've just kind of cobbled it together without like a logical plan. Like certain things are closed that seem weird. There's certain things are still open, like shutting down like state parks and like fishing and stuff seems bizarre, but like you can still, you know, go to like a bunch of coffee stands, you know, that seems kind of bizarre. And then I think the execution by the general populace has been probably pretty poor because like grocery stores are more packed than ever. Like you would think just because they're open doesn't mean that you should be there like every day. You know, I would think if you're not out working, you know, make a quick stop by the grocery store and then, you know, get your several weeks of supplies and then, you know, stay away. So, but I think as a whole, it's probably working to an extent to keep things down. Like the you know, quote unquote, like flattening the curve. But I will say, I don't know how long they will be able to keep everything shut down just from an economical standpoint. I think at a certain point they have to reevaluate, you know, every few weeks and kind of see where it's at. Cause you can't keep everything shut down forever because, you know, they could keep everything closed for 6 months and then you open it back up and the case numbers will go up because, you know, you can't completely eliminate the virus until there's like a vaccine. So.
Well, I think the issue is that if you open it too early, it's definitely going to make things worse in the economic long run because people are going to get sick again, and we have to repeat this whole process.
Yeah,
So
You can just do it forever, right? Just
this is our new
have
economy. In the new world.
have a stay-at-home order for 1 month. People get restless and go like, "It's good," and then we lift, and then everyone gets sick again, and then we start it again.
And
Yeah, we
more
could just do
people
that.
die.
And more people die. Yeah.
Month on, month off. You know what I'm saying, man? 1 month of
the-
normal
it's
pay,
the
1
new
month of
normal.
Donnie pay. Yeah.
Oh,
Adapt
please no.
or die.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bring it up, but it just came
What do you
up
think, Dave?
naturally.
You didn't answer the question, Dave. What do you think?
Well, I think it's our civic duty to try to like limit the spread of the virus.
You commie bastard.
To limit the spread of the virus to other people, and I don't even know why this came into my mind because we were talking about something, and it jumped into my mind.
You wanted to make the show political. You wanted to make the show political.
No, but the other day,
fear mongering.
The other day, my dad calls me.
Oh no, Papa Parker.
And you know, like usually we just talk about whatever, and within about like the first 5 seconds of the phone call, he mentions that the state the state I'm in and
Michigan.
the state that he's in, Washington, the first thing he says is like, our governor's an idiot. No, man, your governor's just a bigger idiot. I just thought it was really funny. It was all. I didn't understand why.
Idiots. They could be
They
stupid.
could
we
be.
don't know. I don't know either of them. I don't know
The
Mr.
implication
Inslee
was that it
personally.
had to do with the stay-at-home orders, but we hadn't even been talking about that. It was like the first thing that came out of his mind or out of his mouth when we got on the phone. So
What'd you say?
I just said I said I'm a good citizen
I'm a
that
good
stays
boy.
home, and you know, and I feel like maybe people shouldn't be like out in crowds together.
The like protests.
Protesting and because
It's so
like,
ironic.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry, it's so
Herd
ironic.
immunity, Dave. Herd immunity. Haven't you ever heard of that? You just
anyway,
believe you don't get it, you can't get it. If you just believe it's not real, it's not real.
anyway, so
Not
Dune
real.
sounds like a great book. Mick
Dude,
and I
there's
got
no
it.
mist.
Landon, you're gonna get it right, and then
I want to. I just don't know how
Okay.
to. So
we joked
Oh.
about doing Hot+keys
So
book club,
there's this
but
great
I think we should actually
site
do
called
it.
Amazon, Landon, that you can
See, I
order
can't-
almost anything, and it
I
comes
can't
within
ship-
a couple days, couple weeks.
I can't ship stuff to my apartment because they have to have me home to receive packages. Like,
That's
if
Oh,
I'm
really?
not-
Ship it to your parents' house.
yeah.
That's
Because I
great.
had something shipped to my apartment, and since I wasn't there, they just wouldn't leave it. They left a note saying like, "Hey, you weren't here. We can't leave the package." Until I could do that like 3 times or whatever, or sign something to say they can leave it.
If
And
it's
then I
something
have
like UPS, you can make a UPS account and essentially override their instructions or give them specific delivery instructions. Also, I think there's only certain things that you order. So it's not everything that you order. It'll just be like if you have certain type of classifications of packages.
I'm guessing like super expensive stuff is going to be way more highly protected.
Maybe they're just scared. Maybe they just know your downstairs neighbor and they're like, she's going to take this. Like, we can't leave this here.
I mean, it's probably not super high risk because I only have one neighbor on my floor, like in that building area. So like someone would have to come up the steps besides them, and I don't think they would steal it. So maybe.
Well, then get the audiobook like Michael did. That way you can listen to it, and Will and I can read it. Like then we'll compare the differences, like how you absorb the story of papered on your fingertips versus like sound waves. And
I feel like I like reading a book though, but like I'm also like at this point like reading a book also like seems really time consuming. So
can you listen to stuff while you work?
Sometimes? I can, but I actually don't prefer to. I prefer to not listen to anything while I work.
What do you listen to on the drives?
Typically music or podcasts.
There you go.
So, but it's hard to like, so like some days I'll drive for, 3 or 4 hours, but like a lot of times it's just like quick, in town driving. So it's like, do I really want to boot up, listen to Dune for 5 minutes while I drive from here? You know what I mean? That seems like something you want to have like a little bit more time.
Yeah. Just like if you have a 4-hour drive ahead of you, be like, okay, all right, putting on Dune.
But then
if you listen to it at 1.5 speed, you can get through it a little bit quicker. So that 5-minute drive actually is 7.5 minutes of the book that you could experience.
I'm sure the creator of the book didn't want me to enjoy it. that heathen method.
The creator of the book probably wanted you to buy the actual book instead of the digital version.
Sometimes while I drive a long ways, like my stupid meat brain can't, even listen to anything. I just, enjoy the view.
That's why I figured you were avoiding the entire situation.
Yeah, because I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So stupid.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still working though, boys. These meathead hands, I'm banging them against coolers, fixing stuff.
Okay, Landon. Speaking of meatheads, so you got some steak marinating in the fridge?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, but I
went to the store. Ketchup and mustard, and then like but then you put like turmeric in there as well. You're like I saw my mom use this once.
I gotta class this up, church it up a little bit, as they say, No, I went to the store really hungry the other day for some essential grocery buying. I didn't do it on the clock. I did this in my personal vehicle. For anybody wondering.
No. What are you talking about? Oh, is this in reference to something that was asked last week?
Yeah, maybe. And bought some chicken, bought some steak, and then I'm like, you know what? I mostly just grill a steak up, on the, fry it up on the pan, a little butter, a little seasoning. I'm like, but I've heard people marinate steaks, so I just bought a bottle of like A1 steak sauce, and I just slathered that hunk of meat in some sauce and like threw it in the fridge. And I'm like, probably gonna cook it up tonight, but I've never done it before, so it's probably gonna taste terrible.
So Landon ruined a steak. Mick, though, you did the opposite last night, though, right? You made a beautiful one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've never really even cooked a steak besides like on a pan on the oven. So I've never barbecued or anything. So I wanted to try it on a Traeger, which is just the smoking grill, basically. Like, so you have flavored pellets that you put into it, and then that flavors the meat. So I think I used like maple apple or something, or some apple wood flavor. I don't remember. But so all I did was I just used dry seasoning, salt, pepper, and then a little bit of garlic powder.
Oh, heck yeah.
You're going like fancy in this.
It looked delicious. You showed us a picture of
it,
and it looked great.
It was like the perfect medium rare steak.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm really hungry.
Once this is all over.
Yeah, I just ate. Yeah, it was sushi though, and so sushi's not the most fulfilling meal.
Ooh.
What?
Oh,
sushi
dude,
is so fulfilling. Maybe not filling, but
I didn't have enough for it to be filling. Like, does that make sense? I had like.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, before we started, all Landon was talking about was how hungry he was.
I'm starving. Oh, I haven't had much to eat today.
I mean, it is 4:20 today. Munchies, like,
Yeah, that munchies, man, because I'm so high.
I did stupidly though. So I had these temperature probes in the steak, and I closed the the lid to the grill.
Mick, no.
So I had it in there for like 6 minutes, and I was gonna flip it and do another 6. And so I opened it, and the temperature was right in the steak. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just pull these out because I need to flip it over. So I just grabbed it with my hand, and I was like, immediately, just like, why did I just do that? Like, this piece of metal is in this like 450-degree cooking machine for 6 minutes. So I have a nice burn.
Show us.
Burn line. I don't know if it'll come up on camera, but it has like that like shiny.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I see it a little bit.
Now, every time you see it, you'll think of that wonderful steak you had.
Yeah.
And it'll make you want to make another one.
See my burn marks?
Gross.
You know, what I really want to do when this is all over is I want to go over to your place, Mick, have a bonfire, grill some steaks.
Over the bonfire?
No, just on the grill. Grill some steaks, play some Foursquare, have a couple cold beers with the boys.
Stick a
and
nice,
just,
like,
you know,
ball
like
on a little twig and like hold it over the fire.
Yeah.
S'mores,
You know,
but like
caveman style.
steak edition. Like,
Landon,
Yeah,
are
we
you
can
saying
do that.
are you saying that these hangouts that we do aren't enough for you? Is that what you're
no,
saying?
they're not. No, they're not. They're fun. They're fun, but there's just nothing like being in person with friends. Like, you know, I'm sorry, Dave, that you
Try living
in
states and
Airway
states
Heights.
away.
Like,
Why don't you walk to me, Landon? Walk all the way here.
maybe that'll be my next challenge. I'll walk to Airway Heights.
You're gonna walk to your parents' house, right?
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's
You're gonna try to walk.
9 miles round trip. So I'm gonna do that. No big deal. Saturday morning.
I mean, you walk a lot for your job, though, so like it'll be.
The uphill part will
You can start Dune. There you go.
I might do that and listen to the book.
Yeah.
Can you imagine two headphones in? I just get hit by like an SUV going
No!
like 45
Why would you say that?
I'm like, oh, look, listen to this space epic. I'm like, I can't believe I've survived the coronavirus for a month. Like,
No.
like playing on the side of the street, but like Dune's still playing. I'm like, oh, what a wonderful tale.
Landon, if you died, your family would stop listening to the podcast, and that would be a lot of followers we'd lose. So please, no. We need you. What made you want to walk all the way there? Just like it's something.
Just something to do. Like, because like it's gonna take like a little, like probably like an hour and a half to walk there. Maybe less. Maybe a little less. I don't know. Probably less. I might try to jog some of it. But it's just something to do, and then I figure I can talk to my family like from a safe distance, you know, in the yard. Like, you know, see them, you know.
Are you gonna be where like they stay inside the house and you're outside and you're just like talking to them through the windows or something?
No, I'm sure we could go like in the backyard and I could just sit in the grass and they could, you know, poke me with sticks or something.
You can
like,
see your parents' new little dog, right?
Oh yeah, I actually forgot they bought a dog till you reminded me. So thank you, thank you for that.
How do you feel about that?
Like literally, it escaped my memory, and you just shoved it back in, and I'm just really angry now.
Landon was happy for a good section of time.
I was a little bit hungry. I was hungry. I was thinking about my fantasy of getting hit by a car. Like things were good, and then like you're like, oh, your parents got a dog.
And then I brought you screaming back to reality.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be fun.
They bought a dog in this economy.
I know, in this economy. Like, are you kidding me? Like, but I'm so hungry.
I'm sorry. We're almost done. Speaking of food, Michael won some food, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. We made a little friendly wager.
Mick, do you want to gloat? Well, talk about what it is first and then gloat.
Okay, so we made this bet. So our friend Jesse, who's been on the podcast multiple
Friend
times,
of the show.
So Landon was saying that without a doubt, Jesse is gonna buy Final Fantasy VII remake within last week, and so
he alluded to it in the chat, like he.
Well, and if you know anything about him, if you've heard him talk about it on the show or on backlog episodes where he's like notorious for squandering money on games that either he doesn't play, or games that he already owns on another system, or games that he already owns on an already owned system. So, like,
generally speaking, Jesse's never met a dollar bill he didn't like to spend. Okay,
exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Especially on video games, in particular. Yeah. And then, Final Fantasy VII comes out, this game that like is something that he has memories of from his childhood because both of his older brothers loved Final Fantasy and they played them a lot. He didn't really play them that much, but it was one that now like there's a much easier, more open opportunity to play this remastered kind of more accessible version of the game. So here in comes the Jesse bet.
Yeah. I bet Mick. I was like, there's no way he doesn't buy it. And Mick's like, I'll take that bet. So we're like, all right, what's something we can bet on that's like, fun and whatnot. And we're like,
Something
we both are
both love.
Yeah. And Jonah
and
doesn't
that's
understand.
reasonable.
We both love Tomato Street's like baked chicken, like pasta dish that is literally like heaven for your taste buds.
Yep.
So we made the bet. We're like, winner of the bet gets the loser to buy them that dish from Tomato Street and have it delivered to their dwelling, their place of residence.
Right.
And I felt pretty good going in the bet. Mick felt pretty good going in. And for the next week, we sweated it out. No collusion. There was no referencing it.
Well, I mean, it was hard because Will owns the game. Will has been playing the game, and Will, you really like the game, don't you?
I enjoy the game, yes, a lot. So if Jesse were to ask me, like, oh, what do you think of the game? Like, I can't lie to him and say, like, oh, I hate it. I can't say, like, oh, I'm not allowed to talk about this.
If you said that, he probably would have bought the game right then. So, I mean, you probably were better off talking about how good the game was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was funny though last night at about like
there was a slight moment of desperation, I think, from you last night.
No, I wasn't trying to get him to buy it. I was about ready to just throw the towel in. That was mostly what it was. I was about ready just to tell him like that it was over and just take the L on that. If any collusion had like blown it on my part, I would have just accepted the loss. But like there was a moment where Jesse's like, "Hey Landon, how about you buy Final Fantasy VII Remake?" And I was just like, "Oh, really? Like, you want me to buy it?" I want to be like, "How about you buy it?
Please, you have 2 hours."
Yeah. But yeah. So.
And I think the funniest part about this is I texted him in the chat today, like, "Oh, like, why won't you buy Final Fantasy VII Remake?" And he's like, "Oh, I have bills to pay."
Yeah,
it's like that has never stopped you before.
Never ever stopped him before.
It's not going to stop him in the future either. So I mean, there will be more video game purchases coming from Jesse. We know that. It's just not going to be Final Fantasy VII before 12 a.m. on 4/20 of 2020. So
yeah,
needless to say, Jesse did not purchase the game.
I texted him at midnight
exactly
on the dot, and I was like, "Did you buy this game? Did you buy it?" And he didn't text me back till like 4 a.m. But
why was he checking his phone at 4 a.m? That's the
yeah, it's weird.
Who knows?
It'd been funny if he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I bought that like on Tuesday."
I beat it already.
I haven't played it yet. It's still in the seal.
As the loser of the bet, I still don't regret it. It was pretty fun. Like we don't have like a lot of fun stuff to do, so like
gotta think of something in these tough times.
So should we make more bets? Like,
I love making bets over like small things. Like I've made several bets with Jordan, friend of the show Jordan, that I've absolutely slaughtered him in.
Does he ever want to bet? I mean,
not against me.
Okay.
We did make one about football related though, Jordan. I have one. It's like a kind of a long game bet though, about football. Like,
is it that Tom Brady's kid is going to win more Super Bowls than like Peyton Manning's kid? Is it something like that long game? Or
no, it's just that I bet that the Buccaneers will make the playoffs this year, and he said they won't. We got a lunch on the line, so.
Because you're riding on Brady there?
What?
Riding on Brady there? Like.
Yeah, I'm riding on Brady.
You think he'll rally the Pirates?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Guys, there won't be a football season.
No.
How likely are we looking? I mean, I know it's still a ways off. It's late September, but I mean, we had the Olympics canceled. So, I mean, the idea that NFL.
I think the Olympics getting canceled has to do with the international side of it. That you got people can.
I know, but the U.S. is the worst right now.
I know, but it's not bringing people in. Like the fact that the Olympics is like you're gathering people from every single country in one place, and then they all go back home.
They did it so they didn't want the U.S. to get other people sick, right?
Yeah, probably.
With the NFL, it's just other Americans getting other Americans sick.
Yeah, I would assume like all the London games are probably definitely like for sure canceled.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah, The Jaguars, like they literally like are such a bad franchise. Like 2 of their home games, like every year, are played in England.
Jacksonville's like, no, please, like take them.
They're so close to just getting shut down, man. Like they're kind of like.
Dude, Oliver right now is in shambles because of what he said. He's like on the Minshew mania train, like all the way.
Yeah, we all know Minshew's just a bridge guy. Like they're looking at the draft, like
just to hold over till they get a
yeah
player. To go back to Final Fantasy VII though, Will, have you beaten it yet, or are you getting there?
No, so I'm not, because I'm trying to juggle 2 games at once. That's getting really difficult.
The classic juggle. The classic juggle.
Yeah, dude. So what I found when you juggle things is it's harder to focus on both of them equally, because right now I'm super invested in my other game.
What's your other game?
Persona
yeah,
5 Royal.
Nerd.
Talked about it before.
Nerd.
Never heard you mention that game ever.
Really? Wow. Must be like some alternate universe we're living in. But I'm like 13 hours into that game. With like 20-ish more to go. So I honestly just want to like crank out those last 20 hours before I go back and fully invest myself.
Last 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 hours.
Because I'm about...
I think it took me like a month to put like 30 hours into like the Outer Worlds. Like,
yeah, well...
you put like 113 hours into Persona in like 2 weeks. Like
3 weeks. Well, okay, to be fair, 3 weeks.
Okay, much better.
And
I'm non-essential.
I'm just gonna say the stars aligned so that I have so much time to just waste.
You have all the time.
Yeah,
so all of it. You have all of it.
My job
has been a video gamer's like dream.
And honestly, Will, your job might not ever come back.
Dude, it might not.
Where are we gonna get great popcorn though if we can't get it at the
They're selling the popcorn. They're still selling the popcorn.
They're selling the popcorn.
I might buy some.
But is that all they're going to turn into? Is just giant popcorn venues with these weird big empty rooms?
Well, that's where they make their most money anyway. Is from
but they also make money because people go there to watch the movies, so they're there to buy popcorn. I think there's less people that are actually going to go out of their way to go buy just popcorn there.
I don't know. You can't.
I don't know if there's anything to base that on.
There is solid scientific evidence that.
Name another place that you can get movie theater popcorn.
Oh,
but I bought so much stock in AMC, man. Dude, it's gonna pay off so much, dude. Like the long game, man.
They're the ones that filed for Chapter 11, right? Or they allegedly are in the talks of filing for Chapter 11.
Dude, I bet you. Here's the sad reality. Like places like the movie theaters. Silverwood's not opening it up this year. I bet they're not opening up.
Oh, like
at least till late fall.
Silverwood is a local theme park.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Local theme park. Chuck E. Cheese. They're not opening back up.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Who's taking their screaming?
That den of germs.
Nose?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the den of germs is closing for good. They are literally selling. I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but they're still open.
Chuck E. Cheese is?
Yeah, they're still
selling
open.
Just pizza?
They are selling
the dirty
pizza.
balls from the ball pit?
No, they are selling selling cheese
culture.
pizzas and hot wings. And their advertising for it though is they didn't have official advertising at first. They went out with paper signs and were putting them up on stop signs and different things saying large $5 carry out cheese pizzas all over town. Then they finally have gotten official Chuck E. Cheese advertising for it. I actually want to try it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to get a pie from Chuck E. Cheese. I kind of want to do it. Just
wet cardboard. Just what I wanted for dinner tonight. Well, you live close by too. You can.
I know. I'm so close. I know. Coming back from work.
Bucket of tainted wings and then go back to your apartment.
I just want to get the pie. I just want to get the pie.
You find a ball from the ball pit in the wing, the wing bucket. You're like, what is this?
But I think the barrier to entry is $5. If I take it home and it tastes like garbage, I can just throw it away. There's nothing lost. But maybe it's really good. You don't know.
You lose
don't know.
$5. That's the barrier to entry.
They're so desperately trying to get rid of all their stock. You know what I mean? All the food crammed into their freezers and coolers. And then they're probably just closing their doors for good. You know what I mean? It's over. It's over for Brother Chuck. I'm sorry. Like, it's over, man. Like,
Hotkeys.
the rat.
The rat?
Yeah, he's done.
The rat
man.
is dead.
Yeah.
They're finishing
Kinda
him
funny.
off, putting him in the last few pies, and
Yeah.
giving him away to those pedophiles that hang out inside of a Chuck Cheese.
The dude's gonna suit up one last time, man. You know.
Oh gosh.
Shoot, dude. Like, really? That's a family show, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, I won't make the joke I was just about to make. So. Well, okay. Well, with the death of theaters, like, we get to spend a lot of time at home watching more movies, TV show. Last week, I mean, we talked exclusively, basically about 2 movies.
Basically, just about Parasite.
Basically
really.
about Parasite, but Landon, you started watching a couple more Netflix shows.
Also, we did talk about briefly on that. Some of the other guys, that director's films, Snowpiercer.
Since then, I've watched Snowpiercer since that, and I watched Okja as well. Both
I need to watch that one.
Mm-hmm. They're both on Netflix, so I mean,
yeah, check them out.
Also on Netflix is Money Heist and Ozark, which Landon started this week.
Two shows
Take
that
away.
I started. Money Heist, and I watched the first episode of Money Heist and then the first episode of Ozark. I probably am going to watch both of them. I'm leaning towards watching Ozark all the way through first, though. Both interesting, but like Ozark's got Jason Bateman in it, and I really like him as an actor.
I like Jason Bateman. Yeah, he's
and
like an
him
everyman.
Yeah, like in
Even
seeing
in
him
Ozark,
in a more serious role, like he's good. He's really rock solid. He was in that Stephen King show, The Outsider, recently, is in a serious role too. And I always like seeing when actors that are mostly known for comedic roles, like doing serious stuff, like almost kind of like a Bryan Cranston. You know what I mean? Like
that shift.
Yeah,
like
and
from Malcolm to
Breaking Bad,
Walter White. Like,
yeah, and I mean honestly, the Ozark's somewhat similar a little bit to Breaking Bad in premise, with kind of like, underworld,
I like the setting. I do like the kind of it's lower Missouri, right?
Yeah.
The Lake of the Ozarks or whatever.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's kind of a cool setting.
And the show doesn't take any time getting into it. Same with Money Heist. They both start, there's not a lot of, you don't spend like half the season waiting for something to happen. Like crap hits the fan very quickly in both shows, which I like. So, and both of them seem like they're going to get way more messed up before it's all said and done. So, high quality entertainment. Check them out. They get a Landon.
I'll probably definitely watch Money Heist at some point, because Brianna, my wife, loves that show. Like when the new season just came out recently, and she was like, "Gotta watch season 4."
Man,
so
you're really
I'll probably
making your wife sound pretty cool.
She is cool, and she likes cool TV shows. So I'll watch it too.
I kind of want to watch them both at the same time, but it's kind of hard to watch 2 dramas. Like,
it's hard to juggle, like juggle 2 video games at one time.
You spend more time on one than the other.
Yep. So I think it might be just easier to just binge through one and then binge through the other. So
I mean, you have time, and I mean,
I don't have much more free time than I typically do, honestly. Like, I'm still working almost the same amount.
All right, rub it in, Mr. Essential, like whatever.
I'm just saying, like, everybody's like enjoying all this time, and I'm like, oh, I still have a couple hours at night, and like.
Well, you're gonna get hit by a truck on Saturday anyway.
Yeah, so it'll all be over.
So quick, hurry up to finish Ozark and Money Heist before Saturday. So.
The end is nigh.
Mick, you just lost a dear friend recently from your leg, right?
Oh.
I thought it was going to get real serious real quick. I was like, oh, man. Like.
Yeah, so I've been having this ingrown hair on the outside of my
An
thigh.
abscess, if you will.
For, like, I'm not joking, it's for, like, the past 8 years, 9 years. And I don't know if you guys have seen those videos on YouTube or whatever where people like pop stuff like that.
Oh, I've seen them.
Is this the part of the show where we get sick?
Some people get grossed out by it. I think it's satisfying because I like that feeling of like getting something like that out.
Yeah.
So
All right.
2 days ago. 2 days ago, I finally I got it out. The end.
Well, a couple years ago.
Payoff though, like 9 years.
A couple years ago, we tried to cut it out with like a scalpel, and we couldn't get it. And we like mangled his leg.
They just didn't cut deep enough.
Is that really what it was?
The first 2 layers of skin.
Yeah, my wife and her sister, they had like surgical equipment, and Michael was like down on the ground, like in his underwear, basically. they're like cutting.
I was like, cut it out of me! Get it out!
It was like really
like
funny.
The scarab scene in The Mummy, like, get it out of me! No, but yeah, it was a good feeling getting it out, you know? I mean, it got to like the diameter was like bigger than a quarter on my leg.
How deep was it? Like actually inside you?
Well, so there's basically like a hole in my leg the size of like the end of a paper clip. So that's all I did. I disinfected the paper clip.
Why was there a hole the size of a paper clip in your leg? Well, that's not normal.
I don't know. I'm not normal. So
how can you just gloss over that?
I stuck it in there. I just poked it in there like maybe a quarter inch, maybe a little bit more, and I just I did this and kind of.
You whirl it around.
A gyrating motion with his finger.
Whirled it around.
His
This is horrible. This is unlistenable.
He was churning butter like with
in my leg.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this gets worse and worse.
With the paper clip?
Anyway, so I got it in there and I twirled it. And
all right.
I pushed as hard as I could and it shot out like.
Oh yeah.
All right, describe this.
How can I describe this? How can I do this? Okay, like you ever have like a peanut butter and jelly and you put too much jelly in there and you bite it and the other end just goes vomits all that out on the other side? That's what happened with my leg. It was just like all this like pus and like ingrown hair crap just shot out. Man, it felt so good, but
that was 8 years of you just gone, like in an instant. Like
yeah, you know, it's probably been even more than 8 years.
Do you miss it?
Like 10 years.
Do you miss him?
I mean, it'll probably grow back. I don't know if it'll ever go away completely, but
that's a little touching.
You got 10 more years to kill. Like,
yep.
All right. Well, we'll end on that note because that was really cool and exciting and not gross at all. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website at www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.
And check out my Instagram, Landon _Browning.
Thank you and goodbye.
Jolly. Have a good one, folks. Bye.
Goodbye.